Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Just before the PCE data will be released in sort of 40 to 30 minutes from when I make this video roundabout. But I still wanted to give you an update about the latest wave count. The count hasn't changed to yesterday, but obviously it's struggling to get back above these two trend lines here. We talked about that Solana is in some kind of a descending wedge situation, descending broadening wedge. Now these would typically break to the upside, but it's a very, very rare pattern. So it's not a great pattern to be in as well. And depending on what PCE does today, I wanted to make you aware about the key points. So if we break to the upside here, then Solana certainly still has a chance to put something in like an ending diagonal for that fifth wave. Yeah, that could be something like, I don't know, it could look like this, you know. It's a bit too early to say that, but it could be like an ending diagonal in some kind of an ascending wedge situation to the upside. Now you could argue we're already putting in something like an ascending wedge, and yeah, in fact it could possibly already be in this kind of ending diagonal situation where it will just move up and down and could actually hit our target if it pushes to the upside. However, we need to get out of this descending wedge. We need to break above this descending trend line to follow through. And that's absolutely critical. So at the moment, there is no sign it wants to do that, even though I have to tell you that the move down currently looks corrective. So it's not too bad. However, off the lows, it has retraced now to basically the 50% fib level. So it really imminently needs to move up, because then we could still, possibly count it as a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern here with a wave 5 to the upside. But also that would only be possible now in a diagonal structure, because it cut here into the wave 1 price region. If I wanted to count that as a possible 5-wave move up, because this is a clear 3-wave move. You can see it quite clearly on the 1-hour chart. So it could still become a 5-wave move, but then it really needs to move up imminently, and it needs to be then a so-called diagonal pattern as well. Yeah, maybe a leading diagonal in that kind of ending diagonal, which sometimes happens, but it's an absolute mess then. So we obviously need to, since we dropped out of this larger formation here, that channel, that large ascending wedge, since then we need to be ready that this could come down also into the wave 2 support area. That is currently based in the range between 1160 and 1650 pretty much, or 1660. This is the area where I think we could have a really good chance to scale in again. Yeah, if we consider this to be a wave 1, we certainly have enough waves to say this move up is complete. Ideally, however, I'd like to see one more wave up, and that again could happen in an ending diagonal situation. However, the market is starting to roll over here, as you can see. So it really needs to push higher now, or it will most likely come into this area. So that means for me, strategically, for everybody who's in here, in any trade, move up your stop loss, maybe reduce your leverage, risk down a bit. Anybody with a spot position shouldn't be a problem anyway. But if you're entered in these support areas, you can move up your stop loss comfortably and just see if it does anything, right, to the upside. If it doesn't, then the next attractive entry point and trade setup will be here, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you could look at a possible short trade if it breaks below the last swing low of 22.30, but that's only an idea. Because it might have switched into an overall uptrend. So a short would not necessarily give you that attractive return, whereas possibly trading this third wave to the upside possibly would. Because if we now come down into this area and you manage to buy quite close to the stop loss, then or to the invalidation point, this could take us to $41, $42 at least the next move up. I have to say, disclaimer, I have no idea if this is going to become a larger 5-wave move up or if it's only an A, B, C structure. Either way, it doesn't matter. That wave could be traded and it should reach sort of the, the 44, 40, maybe, what do you say? Depending on for a C wave, it doesn't necessarily need to get there, but at least we could talk about the 1-to-1 ratio. So in the worst case, if let's say you buy at 1160 and it comes down to that level, in the worst case, the C wave should get to 30.64. But ideally, it pushes higher. We talk about $36 and ideally here 42. And if it can then pushes higher, it's most likely a third wave. So again, entering here gives you the possibility to move up the stop loss, but not too tight in order to be stopped out too early. And then you can just let it run. So that's the next larger point where I plan to get in for Solana, and it might be, and you know, if it pushes higher from here, it can still extend out further, can extend out further, can extend out further. However, my view is that we get close to the end of that rally here, and we should see a bit of a pullback here before we continue. But we haven't really seen that that signal yet. Yes, an initial signal is that we've dropped out of this ascending wedge. It's quite a bearish signal, and we actually are retesting it currently from below. But what's failed so far to happen is an impulse that follows through and that we make a new low here below the previous low. That will be highly interesting. If we drop down, I think the first support will be certainly the support line of that descending broadening wedge. It would be in the same region as this previous support cluster here. So we might come down and retest this support, which is between 2060 and 2160. And if the numbers are really positive today and the market should rally, then it might have a chance to finally put this fifth wave in place here between 2830 and 3220. Yeah, and that might be a time to take some partial profits, or it's up to you. I would always want to take partial profits and then want to get stopped out in profit if it comes down, or if it comes down here, next trade setup is here. Okay, that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.